Welcome to Zodiac Signs TV, where we strip away the masks and reveal the shadows lurking behind each star sign. Today, we confront a truth most shy away from: danger. From the diplomat who avoids conflict at all costs, to the architect of vengeance, whose sting you'll never forget. We're ranking the most dangerous zodiac signs from least to most. Hit subscribe. Give this video a like, and brace yourself because the calmest waters can hide the deadliest under. Let's begin with number 12. Libra. 12. Libra, the peacekeeper, whose silence hides a sharp edge. Libra glides into your life on wings of diplomacy. Their presence, a promise of harmony in a world roiled by discord. They crave balance above all else, seeking to smooth every rough surface until the world hums a tranquil tune. In conversation, Libra's words are measured, their tone gentle, an invitation to trust. You lean in, comforted by their fairness, believing you've found a refuge where no one need ever be wrong or hurt. Yet beneath that serene surface lurks a razor's edge. Libra fears conflict so deeply they will sacrifice truth for peace, burying grievances until resentment seeps into the soil of the soul. Their silence can become a trapdoor, pulling you down when you least expect it. They excel at seeing all sides, weighing pros and cons with meticulous care. This makes them superb mediators but also masters of indecision. Their mind teeters on the precipice of choice until urgency forces a path, and by then, bitterness may have calcified in their heart. Their calm exterior masks a mind worry with doubts. Did I do enough? Was I fair? Did I betray my values in pursuit of peace? These questions haunt them, sharpening their judgments of others even as they strive to appear neutral. Libra's fear of discord drives them to placate until the weight of unspoken truths becomes too heavy, and they lash out with unexpected ferocity. Their anger is contagious, a sudden tempest that shocks those who only knew their gentle breeze. In relationships, they court with grace and charm, weaving connections that feel effortless. But when trust fractures, Libra can become a chilling judge, weighing your missteps like scales tipped by betrayal. Their forgiveness is as precarious as their balance. Fragile and conditional, they dream of utopia, of partnerships where flaws dissolve in mutual admiration. Yet this idealism often blinds them to reality's harsher colors. When the dream cracks, the fall is brutal, reality's sharp edges cutting deeper for every unmet expectation. Libra's justice is poetic and precise. Their vengeance is subtle but stinging. They won't confront you with fire, but they may extinguish your presence with strategic distance and icy courtesy, leaving you to wonder when the warmth evaporated. They hesitate to offend, yet their final judgments resonate louder than any outburst. In the quest for harmony, they can become arbiters of cold logic, dissecting emotions with clinical detachment until connection dissolves. Their greatest strength, seeking balance, can morph into paralysis. Trapped between compassion and principle, they can betray both, choosing inaction over imperfect action, and leaving chaos to fill the void. Libra loves beauty and order, curating their world with elegance, but when beauty fades, they mourn it deeply, their grief hidden behind poised smiles, until it surfaces in silent withdrawals that chill like an abandoned ballroom. They teach us that peace without truth is a brittle facade, destined to shatter when storms of reality gather. Their journey asks, does harmony require discord to define it? Libra's danger lies in the stillness they wield, a silence so complete it drowns out the heart's cry. They can calm a battlefield and leave you questioning why you ever trusted serenity. Have you ever felt the quiet storm of a Libra's hidden edge? Tell us below, because even the gentlest breeze can carry the sharpest blade. 11. Virgo, the methodical mind whose precision wounds deep. Virgo enters the scene with the quiet confidence of a surgeon, scalpel in hand and intention laser-focused on perfection. Their intelligence dissects life's messiest parts, sorting chaos into neat, understandable piles. In Virgo's presence, you feel heard, your problems catalogued, your flaws gently enumerated, your path to improvement meticulously charted. They offer solutions like lifelines, each step planned with surgeon-like care. But beneath that compassionate precision lurks an unyielding critic. Virgo's eye misses nothing, cataloging every fault with chilling clarity. Their kindness can mask a ruthless drive to correct, to fix others as if they were malfunctioning machines. They thrive on order, believing that every problem has a logical solution if you only analyze it enough. This makes them superb troubleshooters. Yet it also fuels an obsession with perfection that fuels anxiety and self-doubt, both theirs and yours. Virgo's mind never stops. Your worries become their research project. Your insecurities, their work of refinement. They tackle your issues like assignments, grading your progress with exacting standards that leave little room for mercy. In conversation, they listen intently but judge internally, comparing your words to invisible checklists. Their feedback, though often helpful, can slice deeper than any insult, leaving you second-guessing the very thoughts you dared to share. They value honesty above all, preferring brutal truth over comforting lies. Yet, when their truth is unwanted, it becomes a blunt instrument, wielded without obvious malice but with surgical detachment that wounds nonetheless. Virgo's greatest danger lies in their generosity. Once they commit to helping, they pour their analytical souls into your problems, sometimes forgetting that you may not want yourself fixed. Their help can feel like an erasure of your identity. They are ruled by Mercury, the planet of mind and communication, and they absorb information like sponges, yet they filter it through a lens of self-criticism and duty. This makes them brilliant strategists, but also relentless self-imposers of impossible standards. Virgo's fear of chaos drives them to control their environment and, by extension, the lives of those they love. They guard against mess, unpredictability, and wasted time, often slipping into micromanagement that stifles spontaneity and joy. They are the calm hands that steady the ship in stormy seas, yet they can also steer the ship so tightly that it can never change course. Their need for precision can suffocate the very life they aim to organize. Virgo's mind thrives on small improvements, one notch at a time, yet this incremental approach can leave you exhausted, constantly striving to meet standards that shift just out of reach. Their definition of better often feels like never good enough. They teach us that attention to detail is a gift, but obsessive scrutiny is a cage. Their journey asks, when does helping become hurtful? When does guidance become control? Virgo's intelligence is a blade that cuts through confusion but without care. It can also sever the bonds of trust. They can reveal your hidden strengths, yet expose your vulnerabilities in the same breath. Their greatest strength, meticulous care, can morph into manipulation, as they guide outcomes so precisely that you lose the freedom to choose your own path. Have you ever felt the sharp edges of a Virgo's precision? Their seemingly gentle suggestions landing like surgical strikes. Share your story below, because sometimes help can be the most dangerous knife of all. Asterisk 10. Taurus, the unyielding bull whose calm hides unbreakable will. Taurus stands before you like an ancient oak, its roots sunk deep into the earth, unmoved by every storm. Their presence exudes a quiet strength that lulls you into a sense of safety until you discover just how fiercely that safety can turn to steel. Beneath their patient exterior, Taurus's mind plots in slow, deliberate rhythms. They consider every angle, every outcome, before making a move. This gives them an uncanny ability to anticipate your next step, to forestall threats with preemptive precision. In conversation, they listen more than they speak, absorbing your words like fertile soil. But when they finally respond, their words are deliberate, their decisions final. There is no room for negotiation once Taurus has weighed the scales. Their loyalty is unwavering. Once you earn their trust, they defend you with the steadfastness of a mountain. Yet this same devotion can become possessiveness, as they stake their claim and protect their territory with silent intensity. Taurus fears loss above all. They build walls of routine and ritual to safeguard what they cherish. When those walls are threatened, their calm facade cracksand reveals an immovable force ready to repel any invader. Their intelligence thrives in the tangible. They solve problems through persistence, through repetition, through the belief that steady effort will eventually move the hardest rock. This makes them exceptional in crises that require endurance over flash. Yet, their methodical mind can harden into obstinacy. Once they commit to a path, urging them to pivot feels like asking a mountain to melt. Their unbending nature can turn allies into hostages of their own inflexibility. They relish comfort and security, curating their world with objects and experiences that soothe their senses. But when these comforts are disrupted, whether by change or betrayal, Taurus's inner bull charges, trampling all in its path without warning. Their temper is slow to ignite but explosive once lit. Years of buried grievances can erupt in a single, unstoppable charge, leaving wreckage in the wake of pent-up frustration. You won't see the anger coming, only feel its force. Taurus's mind is attuned to survival, physical, emotional, and material. They calculate risk, not just in theory, but in terms of what sustains them. Food, shelter, affection. Threaten any of these, and you awaken their primal defense. They prize loyalty above eloquence. A single betrayal, no matter how minor, can fracture their trust and turn affection to indifference. In their world, forgiveness is earned in the currency of time and genuine remorse. Their greatest strength is patience, but their greatest danger is the same. They will wait and wait and wait until they decide the moment to act. When that moment comes, you'll wish you had acted first. Taurus teaches us the value of perseverance, but also warns that clinging to the past can imprison us. Their mind shows us how to stand firm, yet reminds us that unyielding earth can become unmoving stone. In the end, Taurus's calm is a testament to self-control, but beneath that control lies a force both protective and punishing, capable of forging worlds or shattering them. Have you ever felt the ground tremble beneath a Taurus's quiet resolve? Share your story in the comments, because sometimes, the strongest protections become the deadliest weapons. Asterisk 9. Cancer, the moon-touched heart, whose tides can drown you. Cancer drifts in like a silver mist under moonlight, their presence soothing as a lullaby and terrifying as a rising tide. Their intelligence is steeped in emotion, an instinctual knowing of others. Vulnerability is a gift that can heal or weaponize in equal measure. They forge connections through deep empathy, absorbing your joys and sorrows until your boundaries blur. You feel seen and safe in their arms, believing you've found a sanctuary where pain is shared and comfort flows freely. Yet beneath that nurturing exterior lies a heart molded by past hurts, scars shaped by betrayal and loss. Cancer's mind remembers every slight and kindness alike, cataloging them in a ledger that guides their responses and guards their trust. When they feel threatened, Cancer's protective waves surge, sweeping away anyone who dares breach the walls they've built around their vulnerabilities. Their wrath is not explosive but inexorable, a slow, crushing pressure you cannot outswim. Cancer's thinking is lunar, influenced by cycles of mood and memory. They rise with hope and recede with doubt, their emotional currents carving canyons in the hearts of those who love them. In their pull, you're drawn close, then left gasping for breath as they retreat. Their intelligence is relational. They strategize through the lens of trust and loyalty. But when that trust is broken, their retaliation is silent, yet absence so chilling it feels like the void has claimed you. In conversation, Cancer's guidance feels personal, intuitive, compassionate. They offer solutions from the depths of experience, but when they withdraw, their silence speaks volumes, echoing with the pain of 1,000 unshed tears. They are ruled by the moon, a fitting symbol of their capricious heart. Their mind glows with empathy in the high tide, but fades to shadow. During their lows, you never know which face of the moon you'll encounter, making their love as dangerous as it is beautiful. Cancer's devotion can become suffocating, as they cling to those they cherish with a grip that tightens around any hint of abandonment. Their fear of being alone transforms affection into a tidal bond you can scarcely escape. They teach us that love is a force of nature, gentle and life-giving one moment, devastating the next. In their embrace, you learn to feel deeply, but you also risk being overwhelmed by emotions too vast to contain. Their greatest strength and wavering care can become their greatest curse. They forgive too quickly, forget too little, and hold grudges beneath their calm surface until a perceived injustice explodes in heartbreaking waves. Cancer's mind thrives on memory. They hold on to every detail, weaving past and present into a tapestry of devotion and suspicion. Their ability to recall your words is a blessing in kindness and a curse in confrontation. Their emotional intelligence is unmatched, but it can distort reality until every slight feels personal and every kindness feels conditional. They create a world where feelings rule, reason retreats, and peace drowns under the weight of unspoken hurts. They are both guardian and jailer of their own hearts, constructing impassable barriers that can protect and imprison. In loving Cancer, you must learn to navigate their tides, emerging stronger when the waves subside. Have you ever been swept away by Cancer's protective love, only to find yourself drowning in their emotional depths? Share your voyage in the comments, because sometimes, the heart's greatest refuge can also be its deadliest trap. Asterisk 8. Aquarius, the detached visionary whose ideals can freeze you. Aquarius drifts in like a breeze, carrying the scent of distant revolution, school, invigorating, and just out of reach. Their intelligence is cerebral and expansive, focused on future possibilities rather than present comforts. They think in concepts, systems, and ideals, often lifting you into lofty heights of imagination. In their company, you feel inspired. Your mind ignites with visions of progress, equality, and radical change. You marvel at their ability to challenge norms and see beyond the horizon of the status quo. It feels electrifying, as if you've plugged into a current of pure potential. Yet beneath that visionary exterior lies a chill of detachment. Aquarius values logic over emotion, principle over feeling. When you seek warmth or reassurance, their cool rationality can feel like a glacier, leaving you shivering in the wake of their detached intellect. They guard their heart like a fortress, opening only to those who prove themselves through shared ideals and unwavering respect for personal freedom. Intimacy requires merit, and, even then, Aquarius remains an enigma. A mind floating above the fray, their alliances run wide but shallow. Friends of ideology, comrades in thought, colleagues in concept. Yet true emotional bonds, those of the heart, remain distant. Guarded by their fear of being tethered or constrained, Aquarius's thinking is revolutionary, focused on grand schemes that uplift humanity, but this very focus can blind them to the immediate suffering of individuals. Their solutions can feel abstract, failing to account for the messy realities of human emotion. They speak of unity and progress, yet they may struggle to connect on a personal level, treating relationships as experiments rather than bonds. Their eccentricity charms until it isolates, leaving you yearning for a touchstone. Aquarius refuses to provide. In debate, they are unwavering, wielding logic like a blade that cuts through sentiment. They respect truth and integrity above all, dismissing emotional appeals as distractions. This intellectual purity can rescue you from falsehoods, or leave you stranded when you need empathy. Their unpredictability lies in sudden shifts of interest. One moment they champion your cause, the next, they're off to reform a different corner of the world. Their loyalty is to ideas, not individuals. And this allegiance can leave you questioning your place in their ever-evolving universe. Aquarius believes in the collective, often losing the individual in the masses. They envision societies transformed by innovation, but personal relationships may be collateral in their grand designs. Their mind soars while your heart aches for recognition. They teach us that intellect and empathy must dance together, otherwise, brilliance risks freezing the heart. Their journey reminds us that progress without compassion can become an icebound utopian, welcoming and cold. Yet, when they do forge genuine connections, rare, radiant moments, their loyalty is steadfast, their support unwavering. They become allies for life, champions of your freedom as fiercely as their own. Aquarius's danger lies in the void they create when they withdraw, leaving silence where once was inspiration. Their absence can feel like an eclipse, your own ideas dimming in the shadow of their departure. Their greatest gift and curse is detachment, a mind unbound by convention, capable of charting new worlds, but often unable or unwilling to share the warmth of the journey. Have you ever soared on the wings of an Aquarius's vision, only to crash into the cold reality of their detachment? Share your experience in the comments, because even the most inspiring heights can leave you longing for solid ground. 7. Sagittarius, the arrow of truth whose freedom burns you. Sagittarius bursts into your life like a comet, dazzling, unstoppable, and impossible to tether. Their intelligence is a restless spark, leaping from idea to idea, forever chasing horizons that most fear to approach. With them, every conversation is an expedition, every debate a journey toward uncharted truths. In their company, you feel ignited, your mind soared to new heights by their fearless curiosity and boundless optimism. They unfurl maps of possibility before you, urging you to cast aside fear and embrace the thrill of discovery. Under their guiding star, your spirit aches for freedom. Yet, beneath their exhilaration, lies a burning impatience. Sagittarius's craving for expansion can scorch the ground they traverse, leaving scorched relationships in their wake. They value liberty over loyalty, movement over stability, making their warmth as fleeting as a shooting star. Their honesty is a double-edged arrow, piercing in its clarity but capable of tearing flesh when aimed without caution. Sagittarius believes in speaking truth, no matter how harsh, and can leave you feeling exposed and raw in the glow of their candor. They detest confinement of any kind, physical, emotional, or intellectual. Attempt to rein them in, and you awaken a fierce resistance, a rebellion that charges forward with reckless force. Their freedom is their creed, and they will trample any barrier in its path. Sagittarius's genius lies in their philosophical mind. They absorb cultures, languages, beliefs, and weave them into a tapestry of understanding few can match. Yet, this very breadth can erode depth, leaving their connections as sketched outlines rather than fully shaded souls. They uplift with stories of distant lands and bold ideas, but can also abandon you mid-narrative, ever chasing the next adventure. Their loyalty flickers in the winds of change, steadfast only while the road feels wide and welcoming. Their spirit is generous, gifts of laughter, insight, and encouragement flow freely. Yet, generosity can become capricious, given and withdrawn, without warning. Mirroring their fickle allegiance to novelty, Sagittarius's restlessness makes them brilliant innovators, unafraid to risk comfort for the sake of truth. But this risk-taking can hurt those who seek the safety of constancy, as their minds dart ahead, leaving others to grasp at fading stardust. They fight ignorance with enthusiasm, championing causes that resonate with their vision of justice. Yet in battles of the heart, they may lack the patience for the slow burn of healing, charging forward while others linger in the wounds of the past. Their laughter is infectious, a balm for tired souls. Their departure a void of silence that echoes with the ache of abandonment. You may chase their shadow, but they will always be just beyond your reach. Sagittarius teaches that wisdom often demands risk, that true liberation is born in the crucible of challenge. But they also remind us that unbridled freedom can sear connections, leaving scars deeper than any chain. Their danger lies in the fire. They carry a fire that warms for a moment, then consumes the forest. In its ignorance of restraint, to love them is to dance too close to the sun, entranced by light until you're burnt by its intensity. Sagittarius's greatest lesson is that the world is vast and wonderful, but that the roads we choose to wander can lead us away from the hearts we left behind. Have you ever been scorched by the trail of a Sagittarius's burning quest for truth? Share your journey below, because even the brightest flame can leave the deepest burn. Asterisk 6. Aries, the blazing impulse that ignites and incineratory storms into your world with the force of a shockwave, immediate, urgent, and breathtakingly raw. Their mind is a crucible of impulse and passion, thinking as quickly as lightning strikes, then acting before the thunder even rolls. With Aries, hesitation is a foreign concept. They live in the heartbeat between thought and action. In their presence, you feel the charge of pure adrenaline, your own pulse quickening as if swept up in their daring momentum. They inspire you to leap before you look, to embrace the thrill of the unknown, to trust that passion will carve a path where caution fears to tread. Yet, beneath this exhilarating energy lies a volatile core. Aries' brilliance can flare into fury in an instant, their temper a wildfire that consumes reason and leaves smoldering regrets in its wake. Their anger is not calculated, it explodes with the raw force of pent-up impulse. Unpredictable and devastating. Aries values authenticity. Above all else, they despise pretense and dishonesty. This makes them fearless truth-tellers, but their blunt honesty often scorches the hearts of those they mean to ignite. Their words strike with the force of a spear, piercing lies and illusions without finesse. Their intelligence thrives on challenge. They confront obstacles head-on, seeing every barrier as an opportunity to prove their strength. Their mind is like a warrior's strategy, room-fast, decisive, and geared for victory. But this warrior's fervor can trample tenderness. In the heat of battle, Aries may overlook the fragile hearts they wound, their drive for conquest overshadowing the gentle care that tempers real connection. They lead by example, blazing trails through uncharted territory. Others follow, awed by their courage, only to discover that standing in their fire requires resilience few can sustain. Their leadership is magnetic, but it can burn the inexperienced. Aries' generosity is as fierce as their wrath. When they champion a cause or stand by a loved one, they do so with the full force of their heart, without reservation. Yet withdraw that loyalty and they withdraw their warmth just as swiftly. They fear stagnation above all. Boredom is their enemy, provoking restlessness that demands new conquests. Their mind races ahead, always seeking the next thrill, the next frontier, the next victory. This relentless pace can leave you breathless, chasing shadows of their energy, struggling to keep pace with thoughts that outrun the wind. Peace feels impossible when their fire burns so bright that it illuminates every hidden corner of your soul. Aries' brilliance is instinctual, gut reactions that bypass paths of caution and logic. They trust their first flash of inspiration. Above all else, believing momentum carries more truth than deliberation. Yet, in that recklessness lies danger. Without pause, without reflection, their solutions can become shortcuts that bypass wisdom, trading long-term sustainability for momentary triumph. They teach us that courage is a form of intelligence, that sometimes the bravest mind is the one quick enough to leap into the unknown. But they also remind us that without temperance, even genius can become ruinous. Aries' greatest gift is the spark they ignite within you. The call to action that shatters complacency. Their greatest curse is that spark's wildness, capable of setting forests ablaze when left untamed. Have you ever been caught in the heat of an Aries' unstoppable surge? Exhilarated and burned all at once? Share your story below because the fiercest flames leave the deepest marks. Asterisk 5. Leo, the sovereign flame that demands the sky. Leo walks into any room as though the world itself were their rightful stage. Their very presence drenched in a light that cannot be ignored. Confidence clings to them like a second skin, radiant and unapologetic, and you feel it before they even speak, a warmth that pulls you in and commands your gaze. They lead with the kind of charisma that makes others forget they ever doubted themselves, inspired by a sun that never seems to falter. In the mind of a Leo, dominance isn't something they take, it's something they are. Their intelligence glows with instinctive authority, a knowing of how to command attention, how to persuade without pleading, how to make others crave the glow of their approval. With them, loyalty feels like devotion, and devotion feels like life itself. But the same fire that illuminates their world also casts shadows, and within those shadows lurks the darker side of their brilliance. Their pride, massive and untouchable, can turn into a fortress that few can scale. Challenge their ego, and you'll feel the claws of the lion, sharp and unforgiving, as they defend their throne at any cost. Their temper is rarely quick, but when it ignites, it burns with the ferocity of a star collapsing. Betrayal fuels this fire, and once lit, it devours everything in its path. Friendship, trust, even love itself, all reduced to ash under the weight of their righteous fury. Leos dominate not just through force, but through their uncanny ability to make you want to follow them. They wield charm like a blade, cutting through resistance with dazzling smiles and compelling conviction. You may think you stand as their equal, but deep down you know they are always one step higher. Gazing down from their self-built pedestal, they thrive on admiration, and without it, the flame of their brilliance begins to flicker. They crave the reflection of their own greatness in the eyes of others, drawing strength from the love and loyalty they inspire. And yet, that hunger can make them dangerous, turning generosity into manipulation, warmth into a weapon. Leo's loyalty burns fiercely for those they claim as their own. To hurt someone under their protection is to awaken the lion's wrath, and in that moment, you understand why they are feared as much as they are loved. Their defense is relentless, their revenge precise, leaving none to doubt where their allegiances lie. Their need to lead comes with an unshakable belief that they know what's best for themselves, for you, for everyone. And though often well-intentioned, that belief can suffocate, leaving you trapped in the orbit of their will, unable to step out of their light without feeling the chill of exile. Leo teaches that dominance isn't always taken. Sometimes, it's given willingly by those who cannot resist the call of their fire. But in surrendering to their warmth, you risk becoming just another part of their kingdom, another adoring face in the crowd that fuels their reign. They will love you fiercely, protect you with the strength of 1,000 suns. But cross them, and you'll feel the sting of their pride, like a blade dipped in molten gold, beautiful but deadly. Leo's brilliance dominates not only the room but the heart, leaving you captivated and scorched, unable to look away even as you burn. In their shadow, you must decide. Will you bask in the warmth of their sun, or will you escape before the fire consumes you? Asterisk 4. Capricorn, the unyielding architect of power. Capricorn does not rush. Their dominance is carved in stone, slow and deliberate, yet unbreakable once established. They move with the patience of a mountain that has witnessed centuries, unmoved by storms and untouched by the fleeting whims of others. Their intelligence lies not in flashes of inspiration but in the unrelenting precision of their strategy. Every step a calculated move and a plan only they can fully see. In their mind, control is the highest form of security. They build their empires brick by brick, using ambition as mortar and discipline as the foundation. To them, power isn't an accident, it's a reward for those willing to bear the weight of relentless effort. A prize for those who never falter under pressure, yet beneath their calm, measured exterior lies a will of steel that bends for no one. To challenge Capricorn is to pit yourself against an immovable force. To realize that their polite smile hides an unshakable resolve. They don't need to shout or threaten, the quiet certainty in their gaze tells you they've already won. Their dominance is often invisible, woven into the structures they create, the systems they command, the goals they relentlessly pursue. They don't demand the spotlight. But make no mistake, Every victory in their presence has been paved by their unseen hand. Every success quietly traced back to their influence. Capricorn's control extends beyond the physical. They dominate mentally, wielding logic like a finely honed blade, cutting through chaos to expose the order beneath. To them, emotion is a tool useful when managed, dangerous when left unchecked. This detachment can feel cold, leaving those around them desperate for warmth that rarely comes. They guard their hearts behind walls built of duty and expectation, offering glimpses of vulnerability only to those who've proven their unwavering loyalty. When crossed, their retribution is as methodical as their ambition. Capricorn doesn't lash out in fury. They dismantle their enemies piece by piece, each move deliberate, each consequence inevitable. Their revenge is not loud, but it is absolute, leaving no question of who holds true control. Their need for dominance comes not from ego but from a deep-rooted fear of chaos. Without structure, Capricorn feels adrift, their world threatened by the unpredictable tides of fate. By mastering their environment, they quiet that fear, restoring the order in which they thrive. And yet, this mastery can come at a cost. Those who love them may feel more like soldiers in their campaign, valued for their loyalty but rarely allowed to lead. The warmth of spontaneity, the softness of surrender. These are luxuries Capricorn seldom permits themselves, and even less often offers to others. They teach that true power does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers, steady and undeniable, like the pull of gravity itself. Their dominance lies in the knowledge that sooner or later, all things bend to their design. Capricorn's presence leaves you questioning whether you are building alongside them or simply living within the structure of their will. They are the architect of their destiny, and if you stand too close, you may find yourself a carefully placed stone in their grand design, necessary, perhaps, but never irreplaceable. Asterisk 3. Gemini, the unpredictable maestro of duality. Gemini dominates not with brute force or relentless control, but with the disarming ease of their dual nature. They wear two faces with perfect grace, shifting effortlessly between charm and cunning, light and shadow, truth and deception. Their dominance lies in the way they keep everyone guessing, dancing to a tune that only they know by heart. Their words are their greatest weapon, quick, sharp, and impossible to pin down. Conversations with Gemini can feel like walking a tightrope, each step revealing another layer, another twist, another version of the truth. They dominate by controlling the narrative, weaving illusions so skillfully that you question where reality ends and their design begins. At their core lies an insatiable curiosity, a restless need to explore every idea, every possibility, every version of themselves. This hunger makes them dangerously adaptable, capable of navigating any situation with chameleon-like precision. They can charm a room, dismantle an opponent, and vanish before anyone realizes the shift. Yet this fluidity, this endless duality, makes them both magnetic and terrifying. You never truly know which side of Gemini you're facing. The playful trickster who lifts your spirits or the calculating manipulator who holds your secrets. Like daggers poised to strike. Their dominance thrives on unpredictability. The moment you think you've understood them, they change direction, leaving you off balance and struggling to catch up. It's not malice, it's simply who they are, a whirlwind of contradictions. Impossible to contain or control. In relationships, Gemini's power can feel intoxicating, drawing you in with their charm and wit, only to leave you questioning where you stand. They do not cling, they keep moving, leaving behind echoes of laughter and questions that may never be answered. Their sharp mind and quick wit allow them to dismantle defenses without breaking a sweat. They see patterns others miss, weaknesses others hide, and they use this insight with unnerving precision, sometimes to protect, sometimes to destroy. But beneath the constant motion lies a deep fear of stagnation, of being trapped in a single version of themselves. This fear fuels their need for dominance, for the freedom to shapeshift and control the direction of their own narrative. Their unpredictability can be their greatest strength, and their most dangerous weapon. Those who cross Gemini rarely see the blow coming. It arrives disguised as a joke, a casual remark, or a subtle shift in tone that leaves lasting damage. They teach that power does not always come from strength or strategy. Sometimes, it comes from the ability to remain unknowable, to exist in a space where no one can fully grasp your intentions. Gemini dominates by refusing to be defined. They are a mirror that reflects whatever you want to see until the moment they decide to reveal what lies beneath. To know them is to know that you never truly hold them. To try and contain them is to chase smoke, always slipping through your fingers. They leave you questioning if you were ever close to the real Gemini at all, or just another audience to the endless performance of their dual soul. Asterisk 2. Pisces, the silent storm of submerged vengeance. Pisces, so often mistaken for the gentle dreamer, holds a darkness that few ever glimpse until it's too late. They wear compassion like a second skin, offering warmth, understanding, and an almost angelic patience, but beneath that serene surface lurks an ocean of depth, vast, unpredictable, and capable of swallowing entire worlds without leaving a trace. Their danger is not loud or chaotic. It is quiet and deliberate, like the slow pull of a riptide. You don't notice it until you're too far gone, swept under by emotions you didn't even realize they controlled. Pisces dominates with subtlety, making you believe every move was yours, when in truth, you were dancing to the silent music of their will all along. Empathy is their greatest weapon. They know what you feel before you admit it. They see your fears and desires with terrifying clarity, and they use that knowledge to steer the course of your connection. They do not need to confront you. They simply plant seeds of doubt and watch them grow. Betrayal awakens the depths of their hidden fury. A Pisces scorned is not the tempest you expect, but the tide that quietly rises, eroding the foundations of everything you built. Their revenge is patient, devastating, and often so subtle you won't realize what's happening until you're standing in ruins. Their ability to disappear is legendary. One moment they are your confidant, your safe harbor, the person who knows you better than anyone else, and the next, they are gone, leaving only echoes of their presence. This vanishing act can shatter even the strongest hearts, for their absence feels heavier than most people's presence. Pisces dominates emotionally, knowing instinctively where to press, when to soothe, and when to withdraw. They do not need to raise their voice. Their silence speaks volumes, often leaving you scrambling to fill the void with apologies, explanations, or desperate attempts to win back their favor. Their imagination allows them to craft entire worlds in which they hold absolute power. They retreat into these inner sanctums, reshaping reality to suit their vision, and when they return, they bring with them a quiet conviction that cannot be challenged. For those who earn their loyalty, Pisces is a guardian, fiercely protective and endlessly forgiving. But for those who mistake their kindness for weakness, they become a lesson written in heartbreak, a reminder that the softest touch can conceal the sharpest blade. Their dominance is not about control in the conventional sense, it is about influence. They guide currents beneath the surface, shaping outcomes without ever seeming to interfere, leaving you wondering if everything that happened was destined or designed by their hand. They are the poets of pain, turning wounds into wisdom, scars into stories that linger in the hearts of those who dared to cross them. Their danger lies not in what they do, but in how deeply they make you feel and how profoundly you miss them when they're gone. Pisces teaches that true power does not always roar. Sometimes, it whispers. It seeps into your bones, reshaping the tides of your own heart until you no longer know where your emotions end and theirs begin. They dominate by leaving you haunted by what was, by what could have been, and by the realization that you may never truly be free of their shadow too. Face Pisces is to confront the deepest, most unspoken parts of yourself, reflected back with unnerving accuracy in their boundless, knowing gaze. And once you've looked into that ocean, you never quite forget the feeling of being pulled under, helpless against the gravity of their silent, soul-shattering storm. Asterisk 1. Scorpio, the unyielding force of relentless power. Scorpio wears danger like a second skin, an aura that demands both awe and caution. There's a reason they stand at the top of this ranking. Their intensity isn't an act, it's the marrow of who they are. They don't simply enter your life, they invade it, filling every corner of your mind until their presence lingers even in their absence. They dominate through an almost supernatural understanding of human nature. Scorpios read people the way others read books, peeling back layers of pretense to expose the raw truth beneath. Nothing escapes their notice. Not your fears, not your secrets, not the things you wish you could hide, even from yourself. Their power comes not from volume or spectacle, but from control. Every move they make is deliberate, calculated, and infused with a quiet, unshakable confidence. When they strike, it's not in anger but with surgical precision, leaving no room for recovery. To betray a Scorpio is to ignite a fire that cannot be extinguished. They do not forgive lightly, and when they seek retribution, it is total. They don't just even the score. They write new rules where you never win. Their revenge is both art and execution, patient, merciless, unforgettable. Even their love can feel dangerous, for it demands everything. Scorpios do not do half measures. They crave a depth of connection that can be as intoxicating as it is terrifying. To be loved by them is to be consumed, to stand naked before a gaze that sees through every mask you've ever worn, that their silence can be more chilling than their anger. When Scorpio withdraws, they take with them the warmth, the passion, and the intensity that once made you feel so vividly alive. What remains is a void that echoes louder than any confrontation ever could. They dominate because they are unafraid of the shadows, both in themselves and in others. While most people run from darkness, Scorpio wields it like a weapon, turning their own pain into an unbreakable shield. Their presence alters the dynamics of any room they enter. People instinctively respect or fear them, often both, without fully understanding why. They do not seek control, it simply bends toward them. As if by gravity, Scorpios are masters of transformation, able to rise from their own ashes stronger than before. This ability to endure and evolve makes them virtually untouchable. A force that can't be permanently defeated, no matter how many times they're knocked down. They teach that true danger lies not in the obvious threat, but in the power you never see coming until it's already too late. Scorpio dominates not through fear alone, but through the profound impact they leave on those who dare to get close. Long after they're gone, their memory lingers like a phantom, a reminder of the intensity that once consumed you. To stand against them is to confront not just their will, but your own deepest fears, insecurities, and unresolved truths reflected back with brutal honesty. They are the storm that reshapes landscapes, the sting that lingers long after the wound has healed, the lesson you never forget no matter how hard you try. Scorpio's danger lies in their ability to change you, to strip away illusions and leave you facing a reality you can never unsee. In the end, they don't just dominate, they redefine what power truly means, leaving behind a legacy of fear, and an unshakable awareness that you were once in the presence of something unstoppable. Thank you for journeying with us through the shadows and storms of the zodiac's most dangerous signs. If you felt the weight of their power, the pulse of their intensity, don't hesitate to share your thoughts below. Which sign shook you the most, and why? Your stories and reflections breathe life into this community, so let's keep the conversation alive. If this dive into the zodiac's fierce depths resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe to Zodiac Signs TV for more revealing journeys into the stars and souls of the signs. Don't forget to explore our other videos where we uncover even more truths, mysteries, and raw emotions of your favorite signs. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and remember, the stars guide us, but it's our courage that defines us.